A great time of year when we celebrate all dads, celebrating Father's Day. And we're catching up with a rather unique dad. He's the father of 3 boys, 1 girl, and his life made a dramatic turn back in 2012. Matt Ames, thank you so much for speaking with us.
It's my pleasure.
Now, tell us about what happened back in 2012.
So in 2012, I became ill. Thought it was, the flu, man flu.
Yes.
I sort of wondered whether or not I was complaining a little bit too much. But anyway, one thing turned to another, and it turned out that I had an infection that was a strep A infection. We get strep throat.
Sure.
And unfortunately for me, it went not so well. It went into my bloodstream, and I ended up with sepsis. So a few trips to the doctor, but unfortunately they didn't quite pick it up. And so I ended up in the Mater Hospital, and one thing led to another. They tried to stem the infection, and that didn't work. So the only thing they thought that they had option they had left to save my life was to remove my limbs.
All right, as a dad, as I said, you've got 3 sons and a daughter. How have they coped with what's happened to you? And do you think it's made you and the family stronger?
Yeah, they've coped amazingly well. I think the thing that Diane, my wife, and I are proudest of through the last 7 years is really creating an environment where, we think the kids are pretty normal. We have the same issues that everyone else has with
Sure.
teenage kids and young kids. So, I think, yes, it's certainly brought us together, and we've gone through something, extraordinary, but we're still an ordinary family. My experience has certainly taught me to really cherish every day. I'm very fortunate to be here, and, there's no point in... I don't worry about half of the things that I used to,
Right.
but I do worry about lots of other things that I used to. So, trying to put things in perspective, I think, is important.
And obviously, as you said, great family. Diane's been a rock for you, hasn't she?
Yeah, look, I wouldn't... And I think sometimes I feel a bit guilty being in front of the cameras because I'm only here because of her. I think we need to think of all of those people in our lives, like our dads or like Diane,
Sure.
who are the ones that help us be who we are, and, give thanks to them.
Tell us about your dad.
Yeah, my dad is he's one of a kind.
How many times do we hear that?
Exactly. But he, he's fantastic. He's just, one of those people who just has a endless source of energy, and really also has this amazing ability to always back himself. If he wants to do something and he doesn't know how, he'll just work out a way. And I think that's a trait that, fortunately I've received as well.
Do you pray a lot, and have you always prayed a lot?
I do in my own way. I've probably learnt the art of probably slowing down a little bit. I kind of don't have a choice sometimes. But I think that's sort of given me a lot of time to sort of reflect and process, and I think the thing that probably has helped me the most in the early days when something really difficult happened was really learning to accept what had happened to me. And I think that reflection time is something that has really helped me do that.
How did you feel when you found out that people around the world were praying for you?
Yeah, it was. It's amazing how the Catholic connections kind of kicked in and had all sorts of messages of support from all over the place, and it was really reassuring to know that the humanity that you hope exists in the world is really there. I've really been fortunate to experience that firsthand.
How do you see yourself as a dad?
It's probably a question to ask the kids, really. But look, I think I've always been an active, involved dad. Mm-hmm. But I think before I became ill, I was probably a little bit too engrossed in my work,
right,
time-wise. Mm. When I was home, but really sort of dragged away a fair bit. And I knew I needed to kind of slow down and get more involved with the family. Didn't quite expect this was the way to do it. But I think it's really given me an opportunity. I knew what I was missing out on. Well, I thought I knew what I was missing out on, but now having been able to spend a lot more time with the family and the kids, it's really impressed on me the importance of that. Quite often I need to let my kids do things because I can't, and it's just blown me away by the capability that they have, and I probably wouldn't have thought that they could do what they can.
Well, you're a special dad, so thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks, Donna. It's been a pleasure.